and welcome once again to the Fortress of Solitude. I apologize for the rather perfunctory nature of episode 14, which appeared previously. This is actually episode 14 now. That was a lesser product that is produced for lesser users. This is the premium episode 14, designed for my good friends and admirers, or people I admire, such as yourself. So please count yourself lucky to be in this august band, and be thankful that you are not amongst the damned, gnashing and cursing your teeth with the bad audio and boring, yeah. As mentioned in that episode, I don't know if you saw it, I have removed it, but as mentioned in that episode, I recently discovered a book called A Robot in Every Home by Mike Higgins. This was published in 1985. It is, it purports to be an introduction to personal robots and a brand name buyer's guide. This is not intended to be a book of speculation about the future, but rather a practical tool to help the homeowner of 1985 purchase a robot for their household to perform tasks and, buttle and do maid service and whatnot. Now, and it is indeed what it says it is. You look through this book and it details about a dozen different models of personal robot which were then on the market. This may seem surprising to the younger ones in the audience, those of you who were raised on Pokemon and so forth. But in the mid-1980s, there was actually a fervent belief that robots were the way to the future. You remember people complaining a lot, comedians, bad comedians mostly, saying things like, if it's the year 2000, then where's my rocket car and robot butler? Well, in 1985, they really tried to actually generate the robot butler, to create it. Failed miserably. What you had were really little more than toys, though some of them, like the Heath Hero, actually had some functionality beyond that. The problem was they were insanely difficult to program. This is long before graphical user interfaces were common, long before people thought that programming should be easy. For example, the Heath Hero, you could program it to speak. All you had to do was use the numeric keypad to enter in the phenome lengths for the vowels, or vice versa. The book itself, I find, is kind of interesting and a little bit heartwarming, really. There's a nice picture on the front of a nuclear family, literally. Did I say nuclear right? Atomic age family. I won't mispronounce that. An atomic age family, and you see the robots taking care of the baby, and oddly proportioned mom and father sitting around in their yellow shirt and pink striped tie, the height of 80s fashion. And it makes me remember that the 1980s really were the last period in which the 1950s ideals of family and normality were still kind of holding sway over popular media. If you look at the sitcoms or popular television from the age, it seems horribly dated now, in a way that things like even Believe It to Beaver would never do so. I think that older programs have kind of transcended age where, perhaps it's just a matter of we're appalled by what we see from our youth. But I'm sure that, you kids out there watching Bill Cosby show and stuff like that probably think it's horribly dated and mawkish, Anyway, I seem to have strayed from the robot's point, and I'll just close by saying that I really wish we had achieved a future where we had robots. Though I suspect if I were to examine that idea closely, I would realize that, most people nowadays would probably, if we had robots like they have on that cover there, all the kids would be raised by robots, and the parents would be sitting around playing World of Warcraft and ignoring their children. Anyway, that's it for this week. I apologize again for the poor and dismal quality of the previous iteration of episode 14 of Pyat's Fortress. And I'll see you all again in a couple of weeks, or perhaps next week. Who knows? I no longer have a regular schedule, as you may have noticed. Good night, stay well, drive safe, keep warm, God bless.